You're watching this week's show with Dan and Mike.
This week's show podcast.
Oh yeah.
And if you follow every episode, you've just watched us come back from Trees.
That was hot.
Yes.
Not just the band, the temperature.
We'll probably cover a little bit more on that next week, because we've got a lot to cover. We've even got notes. But just to say that I'm still recovering from the heat stroke of Trees.
It was 32 degrees, hottest day of the year.
I'll say our second hottest ever, behind that Bloodstock where we nearly passed out in the press area because they had like one fan for 30 of us.
Or the Reading.
Yeah, no, okay.
I think that was so hot we've just forgot about it. It was a very, very hot Reading.
At least we've ticked off, trying to roast ourselves alive in a field.
Yeah.
And what was sunburn has turned into a nice bronzing, so I'm quite happy.
Nice.
Yeah. So the reason why we're not going to talk much about Trees is because we have two PLEs from the WWE to cover.
There was a plentiful bounty of
It really was.
people grappling each other. Not just WWE, but like there was like boxing this weekend, and
Yep.
AEW had a big event. There was a lot of sport entertainment on, and it's not even NFL time yet.
So
4 weeks.
we don't cover AEW currently because just trying to write notes on two WWE events. We're not quite at fatigue point, but if we tried to watch an AEW one as well, I think we would probably end up
I'm
going.
just not a fan of people bleeding.
There is that as well.
Yeah.
So
Although, well done to Dusty.
yes, that was cool. No, we like the product that the WWE puts out because I watched Attitude Era back in the day. It genuinely makes me feel ill now knowing some of the things that have come out of that with CTE and, lots of stuff to do with CTE, including the stuff that we don't talk about, which is why I love watching the WWE now, because as an adult and somebody that's sustained a couple of injuries in the last few years that have completely knocked my confidence, I don't like seeing people get hurt. I like seeing good matches and I like false hurt, but I don't actually like seeing people get hurt.
Plus, it's on Netflix.
And it's on Netflix. So
Don't need another subscription.
let's jump into it because I got a few things about Saturday Night Live, just to start it off.
Oh, what? You mean Alexis on Fire? No, not that. That's what we were doing Saturday Night Live.
And they, based on the heat, they were for once actually on fire.
But Let Live were hotter.
They really were.
Because Jason stripped down to his undergarments.
And at one point trying to swallow the microphone.
And climbed the rafter
Yeah.
inside the stage.
Living up to his reputation.
But more on that next week's show.
Yes.
Or go back onto our socials, Mike James Rock Show, and you're bound to be able to see some of the antics that happened over the weekend.
Including a very important speech from Let Live. But no, one of the things that struck me about watching Saturday Night Live this time and making notes about it is compared to the other PLEs, I absolutely love everything from like the branding, the graphics, the music, but also the way that they tell stories the whole way through the PLE with the look backs on other Saturday night main events. I like it. I watch a lot of, or I listen to a lot of synthwave and chillwave on YouTube, and it's very similar branding. So
Okay. I did find it was a very narrow walkway to the.
That's part of the 80s aesthetic.
Oh, okay. Because I thought it was pretty cool because it was like Metallica walking up onto stage because it's in the circle and they just like hitting everyone's hands and like. Yeah.
No, that's just
pretty cool.
They do that intentionally. Same with like the ring announcement stuff coming down from the top, the changed WWE logo, so it looks like the old school. But even the walk in is designed to be more 80s than other PLEs, which is why I love the branding of it. They put so much effort into making it feel like it's 80s, and then the wrestling is not. But we started super strong on that event because it was Drew versus Randy.
It was.
With Logan Paul in Drew's corner, which is just hilarious because they're both really good on the mic heels. So putting them together was just fantastic.
Randy Orton had the best sort of sidekick.
Oh.
My boy Jelly Roll. Oh man.
Well, I'm going to have to jump straight into one of the things that came out of it because it was so good. And I wrote it down, and that is RK Roll. So instead of RKO,
Yeah.
they're now RKO, roll, sorry. And I know it was kind of obvious in the way that they were setting it up, but across the match, we were just getting more and more convinced that it was going to be Jelly's getting in the ring proper. And he's not just going to be a sideman doing like the occasional choke slam at a PLE.
It was the night before when he got interrupted by Logan Paul halfway through his song.
And then Logan Paul
trashed the band stuff. The band scarpered.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that that's probably a little tick for Logan Paul, that because he's not a musician,
no.
But he'd got to do the Nirvana destroy everything on stage moment. So I love that. That again, it's one of the things I'm loving about wrestling at the moment, that they're doing these small things just to branch the product into like other bits.
Because Jelly's got his cheeks
Yeah.
tattooed. When he looks like he's worried and upset at the side of the stage, it genuinely looks like he's crying because he's like, oh my God, no.
Well, I actually wrote down on this, his background acting gets better every time. Because one of the hardest things about appearing on WWE, if you've not got into the whole spiel of it, is looking bored in the background when you're meant to be looking like concerned or happy or whatever. And the other thing I noticed about Jelly Roll, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but dude just looks so happy since he's lost the weight. Like
He still wants to lose more.
Yeah.
He said that he first did the Two Bears 5K last year.
Yeah.
And that started his weight loss journey. He did it this year and he was down stupidly hundreds of pounds. And he says if he can shift another 100 pounds in the next year, he'll do the 5K next year for Two Bears and he'll take his top off like Bert Kreischer does.
Fantastic.
We're supporting you there, Jelly, man.
So good.
Absolutely, you're an inspiration.
And we just, like, both of us have said on the podcast before that it's been a year of trying to get our health right, trying to eat better, trying to do a bit. Trying. Which is all you can do.
Not that we did at the weekend with all the ice cream we were plowing into our faces.
Or halloumi sticks. But no, I got to be honest, I loved seeing a man like that who already had oodles of confidence, is a worldwide star, but wanted better for himself. And leading to him being able to wrestle probably at SummerSlam from everything that went on in the promo.
Yeah, the after promo.
Yeah.
Like, I've got your back, I'll be there with you at SummerSlam. It's like, yeah.
They doubted me, so I'm going to come back and prove to them.
But what I want to know is, will he finish the song at SummerSlam? It's such a good song.
No, you are very right on that.
But as soon as he started singing in the ring, you knew it was just like,
Something's
going on.
Going to go down, yeah. Unfortunately, we can't spend too much time on this because we have two to get through. So I'm just going to quickly say that I really enjoyed Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa as well. Did see Fatu coming back because, you know, that was kind of obvious shtick. I'm glad Solo kept the title because it made sense to keep the title on him for the moment.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, you can't lose it and still look strong as a character.
Especially when you've just started a bloodline story.
I think they're going for MFTs is the name of it now.
That's it,
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Goodness knows.
Yeah, probably can't say it on YouTube.
But some of the stuff that we wrote down was just everybody, all of the Tongas,
Even the tall one.
yes, all of them are looking a bit more comfortable in their own skin. So they're finding themselves, including Tonga Loa, who was part of the Solo's original bloodline. He's come back after injury and he's looking a lot more comfortable, a lot happier. And his background acting has got really, he actually looks like he's enjoying himself. And
Well, do you think that now that WWE's on Netflix, they might be getting some acting lessons from a Netflix associate that works on, I don't know, Stranger Things or something?
You never
they've
know.
got their own production company, Netflix. So there's bound to be some sort of, get your man in and we'll do a seminar on how to look upset or
exactly.
different things like that.
or he's just, he took the time off, realised how much he was enjoying what he was doing in the WWE and he's come back motivated. I just can't wait for Tamatonga, not Tala, I get confused with all the names, but I want the yeah to come back because I miss him.
I thought you were about the band, the yeah there.
Not quite. And the only other thing I was going to say is that for two twins with a younger brother all on the active roster at the same time, each of them have such an individual defined character now. You don't think Jimmy's Jay, you don't think Jay's Jimmy, and nobody...
But they do look the same.
They do look the same, but they are very well defined in who they are. And I don't even know if Jimmy's looking to do more than he is right now, because there is talk about baby duty coming up, which might take him out of the main roster for a bit, because you can these days actually take time to be a parent in the WWE.
Well, yeah, apparently he's got a lot to catch up on some of the wrestlers. Who was it who's just had their 7th, was it?
Jacob Fatu, I think, is on 7.
And
Roman's
Roman?
got 4?
Maybe not Roman. Yeah, maybe it was Roman Reigns that's just had another one.
Yeah, I mean, nobody beats Rikishi, I think, at the moment, because Rikishi's got...
well, he has every child is related to Rikishi in some way or another. It's like the 7 things to Kevin Bacon, isn't it?
Yes.
In acting.
Though the one thing that we're going to have to move on and quickly chat about, because I still can't work out whether it's real or just a very, very devious storyline. I can't work out if Seth is actually injured in real life or whether that's part of the storyline.
I believe he is actually proper injured, just literally from what I saw online before starting this. It's like, oh, he could be out. If you look at the slow motion of how he landed,
Yeah.
his knee kind of went out and you could see it in his face, and then he went down.
So the only thing that gets me is that he still got up rather than called an audible.
Yeah.
And there was a certain element of when he was talking to Paul that it felt a little bit contrived. So I'm curious as to whether or not that was just quickly end it so that he doesn't get any more hurt, or whether that it's going to be something devious mixed up from the brain of Paul Heyman, is fake an injury, go for broke on it, fake one out of PLE, let every page, like Facebook page and everything like that, talk about it, just to then actually not be injured so that you can, screw things up for other people later. I don't know. It did smack of a real one, apart from the fact he got back up straight into a BFT and then lost clean. So it's an interesting one, but hopefully not, because it would suck for Mr. Money in the Bank, who's currently leading the brand on Raw, even though he's not the champion, to be injured at this point. But that's wrestling. If they have to deviate them, then it will probably be Bron Breakker in sort of the main position for that one, because
it's keeping the writers in the writing room very active.
Yeah, you got a lot to.
Because you've got Liv that's out and she was like belted, and then you've got Seth, who's Money in the Bank and would possibly be belted by, or if not at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Is looking, it's going to be interesting.
That is very, very true. Now,
I think the winner at SummerSlam is just going to be Jelly Roll.
We shall see, or RK Roll, as they're now putting it. Just to close out Saturday night main event, a couple of things is I love the history that they gave on Goldberg, his WCW footage, his WWF footage.
Yeah.
I also pay a lot of attention to podcasts, and I know that Goldberg had never been happy with his previous final match with Roman Reigns. I think it was Chris Van Ville that said that one. And you double-checked that it was his second longest match ever with Gunther.
Well, just ever.
Just ever.
Just ever. Like normally, what he was saying, he has like 3-minute matches and he's won all these titles and belts and stuff. And this was like a lot of slapping for 15 minutes.
I mean, one of the things I did write down very early on, which is no sell, where you don't sell the move like it's hurt you. The no sell chops, where he just stood there and looked angry. Yeah. That was such a good way to start.
There's a good photo of like Gunther, like his face is in it, and he's like giving it all that. And Goldberg's just like...
Yeah, perfect. Loved the fact that Charles Robinson, the referee, took a spear from Goldie as well, which was hilarious. That led to obviously him rolling up Gunther. And then I actually really liked, there was some very late kickouts. I put kick out at 2.99999 rather than 3.
It's very, very close.
And then it was a classic.
That's like...
Yeah, it was so close.
Yeah.
And then the strong finish of into the sleeper, bit of fight back, and then straight off to sleep. That was a great way for somebody who had the legacy that Goldberg has, is he lost his final match the way that you're meant to. You go out on your back, but he went out on his back looking as strong as he possibly could.
It was the farewell speech afterwards that was
cute as hell.
Yeah.
Really liked that one.
Just basically thanked everyone, didn't he? It's just like...
Yeah. And she's going to have a bit more things I need to say on the next PLE, but one thing the manager did actually say was Goldberg didn't look like an old man struggling through a match. He looked like he was on the regular roster doing it regularly, which...
I thought he looked like he should be like the boss of a security team at a festival. He's the one that stands at the side of the pit counting the crowd surfers through. And every now and then just come in and go, whoosh, catching a crowd surfer, click, click.
100%. In fact, we used to know somebody in our hometown that was very similar to that personality type. However, sorry to rush through Saturday night's main event, watchers, but we
weren't rushed. We covered the highlights.
But this is all but there's a lot on Evolution. There's a couple.
I think it was just a better event, personally.
Well, a couple of thoughts. Our main fan Jack said it's the best one he's seen this year, and I got a couple of notes from our manager here that she wanted me to make sure I read out, which was great start. The branding really good that it's not pink.
But it did have Maybelline splashed right across the middle of the.
Well, it is a sponsor.
Yeah, but it's like.
Well, you got to do some things, because one thing I did notice is there's they didn't give you unknown announcers. They gave you the same announcers that they did for the male PLE, which I thought was great.
And there was a guest referee, but I'm sure we'll come on to that.
Exactly. But no, some of the stuff the manager said is that in some of the promo work and the editing is seeing little girls play with female wrestling figures, and then also the wrestlers on stage. And the thing about that, and this is what she's so happy about, she's mum, is that if she had been growing up seeing stuff like Evolution when she was a kid, that would have actually really helped her with sort of that, because we're all a bit misfitty on the Rock Show, and it would have helped her with those misfit feelings, is seeing such examples of female strength on a screen as a kid would have been amazing. I mean, it's helping her now, but as a kid it would have really inspired. So I think that's a big point of what Evolution is about.
Yeah.
Is to give the same feeling that I had when I watched the Attitude Era, that I could go off and do stuff like that, is stuff like Evolution and having a split main roster nearly completely balanced between male and female. So good. And funnily enough, because obviously Stephanie McMahon came out.
Yeah, she gave a good speech as well. Yeah. I thought, like, how even since the last Evolution, which was
2018.
7 years ago, was it?
Yeah.
It was how it's just progressed up, so much so that the female roster is as equal, if not 100%. Overshadowing some of the males.
Well, like with this PLE, it was so good. But she put, Stephanie McMahon is a great model for a powerful woman and inspiration for becoming our manager. Because if Stephanie McMahon can boss an entire company's worth of males about, then our manager can boss the two of us about.
Okay, I'll go with that, but we've got to have a belt at the end of it. That's your belt. I want a belt.
So do I.
Not just this little one.
We are going to end up with belts, don't you worry. Everybody on the show is going to have a belt at some point. Just going straight in on the Bayley, Lyra, Becky match.
Feisty.
Oh my God, what a start. Like, they were, for want of a better term, just kicking the shit out of each other.
Sorry, YouTube. We'll beat that out.
But such a high energy match. Bayley, after seeing her on podcast saying how she had got a bit demotivated in the last year or so, so over with the crowd at the moment. They love her, and she is clearly drawing a lot of motivation from that. And just absolutely fantastic. There was, I love the way this has been written, carnage from Becky and Lyra from the top ropes at various different points where they broke up a pin from the top rope, and it looked absolutely smashing. Same with believable kickouts as well. When it was false finishes, it looked like it was again a 2.999. And one thing I really love is watching Becky's crazy talk to herself, where she starts muttering to herself and like shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. She's so good at those in-between crazy moments because that's the character she's currently playing.
Yeah.
And then, even though it was not what because I said that I thought that Becky was going to win with a proper heel move. It wasn't quite a proper heel move, but it was a stolen pin. And it worked really well because I think at the moment, Becky being this crazy sort of almost over-entitled champion that expects the Intercontinental to be treated the same as the women's title.
Yeah.
She's really good at that at the moment. And with everything else that's going on across the female roster, there's plenty of people that both Bayley and Lyra could go off and challenge, and they could use Becky in the Intercontinental title to raise up somebody else. I got to admit, the NXT one, I didn't know much about because I don't watch a lot of NXT. But the heel turn of the girl that decided to belt the back of Grace, she had only just come across from AEW.
Yeah.
And then immediately heel turned, which I thought was a great way to get her noticed. But I thought it was, for people I didn't know, I was just reduced to watching the actual wrestling. And I thought the wrestling action was absolutely stunning. So that was quite good. I've got to get onto the women's tag team for a fatal four-way though, because there's some absolutely amazing moments in that. One of which, and I'm going to just call it out straight away. After how much she was getting booed in the lead up to like Royal Rumble and like her feud with Tiffy, it was genuinely so lovely to see Charlotte Flair get the chance of "We want Charlotte," and then when she finally got tagged in, the place went absolutely crazy, and like cheering.
Is it a home girl?
I'm not sure. Apart from Evolution, is kind of like she's one of the mainstays of that because she
was at the last one.
And she's one of those ones that wrestled as a diva and then as a women's champion as well. So she did both of the eras that WWE is known for. And she's fought against being a nepotism baby and proved that she can go in the ring and all of this stuff. And to see her struggle with the booze at one point and still carry a good promo, to see how motivated she got when everybody was like doing a woo to her every time she slapped, it was genuinely lovely just to watch her. Like you could almost see her take that energy and use it. And then the Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss sibling energy that they have, like older sister, younger sister, absolutely brilliant. And then it was the bit where she grabbed Alexa out of the way of the nasty move. And then sat in the corner of the ring just holding her like an older sister. I was like, oh, their tag team is absolutely boss.
Yeah, kind of Scooby-Doo and Scrappy.
Yeah, so good. And everybody else in the Fatal 4-Way as well was really good. I can see why they kept the titles on the Judgment Day, because if Liv recovers quickly, that's still going to be, sort of stuff. Different type of sibling energy between Roxanne and Raquel. And I love the fact that Raquel is like the friend in a friend group that doesn't like hugs. And then Roxanne is clearly the little sprite that loves hugs. Because on the win, the fact that she just jumped onto Raquel and bear hugged her, and then Raquel just stands up and has just still got Roxanne on her side, just like, I'm happy, everything's going well. Just, again, really, really good energy, because if Liv comes back into that for a bit of a feud, all three of them are completely different characters, which means they're going to have a brilliant time giving Liv the push that she needs when she comes back, because she was mid-storyline. Yeah, I thought it was full of great spots, and my biggest takeaway was genuinely enjoying the Charlotte pop. We do still have quite a few matches left to go. So we have the Tiffy versus Trish match as well.
Yeah, didn't really stand out for me.
I mean, the one thing that got me is that Trish was wrestling like she does every week, rather than taken, over a decade off, apart from the one match she did tag team. Not only that, but she took control at the start of the match and led the pace for such a long time. I think it's very important for people that were known for being divas in the Attitude Era or in the Ruthless Aggression era. I think it's very important for them to come back and prove that they can actually go at the standard that it is now, because Paige/Soraya on Chris Van Vliet was talking about how she had to dumb down her wrestling to the WWE catty female style when she wasn't used to it. And so it's lovely to see people coming back from that diva era that had to do the catty and going for like the standard thing. There was a Stratisfaction.
It was just a match that could have been there, didn't have to be there kind of thing. It was,
That's fair.
I think it was, just we need to boost to this whole event to make it sell tickets.
I mean, she also got a chance to wrestle in front of like our kids and stuff like that, which is amazing. I mean,
it's kind of the Goldberg, isn't it?
Gotta love technical difficulties. All I was gonna say that I remember that I hadn't said is the 3 chants I noted in the Tiffy versus Trish matches. Holy shit, this is awesome. So it's great that they're getting that. But at the end of the match, once Tiffy had walked off, the crowd doing thank you Trish as well. Really cool. Love the respect. And that was pretty much what I had left to say on that match. Then we get to Jade and Naomi. That was super physical straight out of the gate.
Really, really was.
I loved the bump that Jade took through the table. Looked great, but Jade also was just so good with the way that she landed. It went all the way across the back.
I wonder how many times they practiced that.
I don't know, because of course a lot of wrestlers, they do house shows, they do developmental work. So there's bumps being taken which aren't often on TV. Like when I went to Wales, they basically did a SmackDown mini, basically. So we know that Logan Paul does an awful lot of practice in his own ring that he has at home for those big spots. So Jade probably could be doing the same thing.
Throwing herself through a table?
Potentially, yeah. Or you got somebody that's going to bump you off into it so that you know.
She calls up her other half again. Can you go to B&Q again, please?
Yeah.
I've run out of tables.
Get me one of those Slim Jim ones.
One's made out of steel.
Yeah.
Like the announcement table.
I mean, that one didn't collapse, but the TV spot where they smashed into the TV and the TV broke was great.
Why are they still using big box TVs? Everyone else nowadays is on.
I know they are flat screens.
They just box it out to make it look.
Yeah. Although you are right that for years WWE was using screens that were so old that they just didn't need to be used like that anymore, and they would hurt the wrestlers' back so badly.
I can imagine. I carried a few of those TVs back in the day.
And not only that, but the holes that they had to have in the desks to fit the TVs. There's famous bits where like Randy goes through the hole with one of his feet and it really hurts. And that's obviously all done with now. And it worked well because it made me feel so uncomfortable. The toolbox throw, so where they dumped the toolbox out the ring and the person rolled out the way just in time. That made me feel a little bit strange. And our manager called it early on in the night, and I'm going to make sure she gets some love for this, is Jade wins because Naomi will cash in at the end of the night. So we'll get to that in a sec.
Spoilers.
The Battle Royale, that was messy but great.
Too many bodies for my liking.
And it's why I like the Rumble as opposed to a Battle Royale, because you don't have that mess of not knowing who to look at when there's 20 people in the ring. But I like the way that they gave everybody an entrance, even though some were like the 30-second by 30-second ones. They didn't do what they do on like SmackDown when they have a Battle Royale and they start it after an ad break with everybody in the ring. I thought it was lovely to get everybody out with their entrance and doing it. And we didn't actually do a call on this one as to who was going to win, but about halfway through, long before they got down to the final few, manager did actually predict it and get it correct with Stephanie Valker.
But what a rise she's had. She's only been in WWE for a year and now she's like...
WWE as a whole for a year, but only on the main roster for a couple of months. But it's because her in-ring work is amazing. She is that good size sort of stature for doing both big matches and small matches. And what I loved is right at the end when Stephanie came in to talked to her in Spanish, which I thought was a classy
I was
move.
going to mention that. It's like, do you think they've made her champion so that they can have someone speaking Spanish to widen the scope in Spanish-speaking countries? Because obviously they've just signed up all the Nacho Libre.
That's the film.
I'm starting to feel hungry. But you know what I mean?
I think it's just Vince always had a weird way of making people that were, from where English wasn't their first language. You wouldn't give them a push until they could cut a promo in English, which is not the right way to do things.
Yeah.
But I don't think, again, I think it's on the merits of who she is rather than her nationality.
Oh, yeah, I know that, but like...
It's one of those, like, I think she's organic, she's there because...
It's going to help boost
everything.
Spanish wrestlers or Spanish-speaking wrestlers, a bit like Io Storm
does
like
it
within the Japanese kind of.
Yeah, and she cuts both promos, half English, half Japanese.
Especially on Netflix now, it's a global thing. It's not just on its own network.
Sami Zayn put it best when he went to, not this year, but last year at Riyadh, is he came out and spoke in the tongue that he's never been able to use on WWE TV.
Yeah.
And you could see how much it meant to him because he was getting a bit tearful. And I think that was the same with Stephanie's, realising that Steph McMahon had taken the trouble to say congratulations in Spanish, saying what she wanted to in Spanish. And then I love the way that she handled all of the criticism before it could start by going, this isn't my first language, so...
Wrestling's my first language.
I'm going to struggle. And just that tiny bit of prefix to it meant that the whole crowd was just behind her on actually trying to talk. Because we know it from doing interviews with bands from around the world, is we watched Crossfaith go from having an interpreter on tour.
Yeah, I remember one of the first times with Crossface, I had to write the questions down 3 days in advance, which I've never done again
or before, yeah.
Just so that
it could be translated.
Could translate and learn the English to, and then come to the last time we interviewed Crossfaith, and we were just shooting the breeze with each other, basically just having mates conversation in English.
Yeah, and for those wondering why we're still mentioning Crossfaith, is I'm not going to judge a band over what a new member has done, especially when the band has kicked him out straight away. That's all I'm going to say. But they are taking time off to regroup. But Ken particularly did work hard on getting like that. And I reckon Stephanie, give her another couple of years of being on the roster, she'll probably be cutting some pretty good promos, because she apologised for it not being that easy to speak in English, but I didn't think it was that bad.
No,
it was
right.
Very understandable. And then we get to the final match. We are finally there.
Little and large.
Yes. Io came in holding the title for 132 days. I didn't realise it had been that long, but that's pretty cool.
It's half a year, isn't it?
Yeah. Io also gives me very strong Rey Mysterio vibes, because Rey's so small, but he's always been able to hold his own against a bigger wrestler with clever in-ring tactics. Io was fantastic, and it was nice to see Rhea not being the all-powerful and actually getting it like a little bit...
It's when Io went, getting in your head, and then 5 minutes later, Rhea did the same thing.
It was
slammed her down.
So good. I love the fact that they were so strong with each other. It was going back and forth. They did that lovely ref bump and then left the ring for some...
Lovely, that was 2 feet to the face and knocked the ref clean out the ring. I was like, gee, poor ref.
But I did love the fact that even the announcers were going, this looks like it's a no hold bars or falls count anywhere or no DQ. It's not, it's a standard rules title match. But they did it so well, they got the great spot outside the ring.
Well, yeah, they went right up deep into the auditorium, didn't they? And you could hear the actual fans screaming out, "Come on, Rhea!"
And then, even though there was carpeting, so it could have had something underneath the carpeting to make it a little bit easier, and even though Io is a tiny human,
she still jumped off the stack of flight cases that were 20 foot up.
Yeah, but both of them did it so well that, again, it didn't make me feel uncomfortable. The only thing that has actually made me feel uncomfortable outside of the ring in recent memory is when Kevin Owens suplexed an aging Stone Cold Steve Austin onto the concrete, and Stone Cold just took it. because he was always known as being the toughest MF on the planet. But Io and Rhea both came out of that looking so tough. It was great.
It would have been nice if the belt had changed hands between those two, but
they're keeping that because Rhea worked really, really hard to get the title off of Charlotte Flair originally and then get it back again.
yeah.
And it also keeps the thing where they can revisit the Io-Rhea storyline of, because Rhea's still not beaten Io
No.
in a one-on-one contest, so they can
And
revisit
they
that.
were like besties in NXT, and you know they showed in the pre-fight sort of footage that they were like good friends all the way through, and they're
Yeah.
still good friends now outside the ring, I think. But
Oh, 100%.
it's just ringside rivalry.
When you
but-
see people do that well together, it probably means friendship. But the absolute jewel in the crown of this event was Naomi selling a loss to Jade incredibly well, and that being a brilliant match. But then doing what her character is meant to do, which is just being batshit crazy, to then go, wow, I've lost against Jade, so I'm just going to come in and steal the title. But the place went absolutely nuts for it. It was great.
It was so quick as well. It was like they dropped her intro music. She was on the run. She ran down the thing, went to the ref. There's my suitcase with the contract in. I'm cashing in now. And then obviously,
Smashed Io over the head with it, I think.
yeah,
Took out Rhea with another move. Did a finisher on Io. Done.
yeah.
Though I do think that's something that they've tried to do with Money in the Bank cash-ins over the last few years, is make them always like a proper smash and grab. Because Damian Priest did that to Drew McIntyre. Tiffy did it to Nia Jax.
To be fair, like Naomi had already had a full-on
I mean, coming in with a bloody nose to
with
cash in.
the taped up, and shoulder was all taped
Yeah.
up as well. It's
But
like-
it was brilliant because it, like, especially when she's holding the title, acting the crazy person, just stunning. Because you've got Tiffy with the other main title that's got her branding and does everything in a very different way. And it does feel nice to have Naomi just create loads of storylines off the back of doing this. It's going to be an awesome title run as far as I'm concerned.
Also, you've got Stephanie Vanquer has now got a shot at the world title at
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
And I think she gets a shot at Naomi because Jade still has her shot at Tiffy from Queen of
Yeah.
the Ring.
So
So,
it's going to be
that's some good SummerSlamming right there. Is
quite a rise as well if she wins at SummerSlam and
You're
takes
not-
the belt.
well, we've not seen those two interact very much up until this point, nor have we seen Jade and Tiffy interact very much up until this point. So again, it's laying groundwork for future feuds, even if this feud doesn't last very long. A bit like Io and Rhea have got years-long history in feuding, whilst also it does make me laugh because they genuinely struggle not to enjoy each other's company in the ring as well. So you
Yeah.
can tell there's so much actual, like, behind kayfabe affection for each other that they almost sometimes fail to sell that they're angry with each other because they have worked together for so
Sly
long.
little look in the eye, or
Yeah,
the
and
cheeky
smiles, yeah.
smile and grin kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just did that.
So that is, like, we're done. We've done everything. Can't wait to watch Raw.
Let's go do that now.
Yeah, from the point of recording, it was last night, and that would
Spoilers again.
that will make, I think, 4 days in a row that I've watched at least a couple of hours of WWE.
Yeah.
But I love it. It was actually really fun. Now that we do a little bit of a sum up with the podcast, actually sitting there and trying to work out what things I wanted to talk about, rather than just going, it was all great, because that would be a very short podcast if we just said it was all great and then ended it.
So if you have liked us talking about, or Dan talking about wrestling and me going, I kind of, yeah, because I'm only a few months into my journey of
We're
wrestling.
going to switch back and forth when it's NFL season, because he knows a lot about it and I don't know very much.
I know a lot about the Patriots. But yeah, we haven't said yet, but like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I know every podcast says this, but it really does help us, you know, just that one little like or even a comment, and it just flips the algorithm ever so slightly and
Helps us.
helps us, and it means the world.
And not only that, but we're not doing this because we think our opinion is like the opinion. We would love to see some discord in our comments between people's opinions, like say whether you agree, say whether you disagree, because we do review everything that comes in, and if people are making good points, you never know, you might feature on the next wrestling podcast if you've got a theory as to how a storyline can go. I've already been proven wrong on most of my thoughts for the year, so it's not like I'm right in most of my predictions.
And someone's got to knock Jack off the spot as number one fan for the show.
Though he does watch NXT, WWE, and AEW, so like true blue wrestling fans out there, you got to come with some game if you want to knock our favourite fan off of his podium.
I think that's just down to parenting.
He's got a good parent.
Is it good or is it bad? You just left to your own devices to watch wrestling all the time.
Well, he's,
I watch it with him.
he's also one of those annoying ones that can play a game and watch wrestling at the same time because he's been trained on 2 screens for entire childhood. Whereas me and you only got 2 screens as adults, you know. I didn't know 2 screens until I was already a man.
But if you want to have a break from wrestling, I've got a good film to recommend, which has got John Cena in it. It's a good film.
Do you remember its name?
Yes, Heads of States on Amazon.
So again, that might be something that we do at some point, is do a little bit of a film review. I think that's why you're pushing this one so that we can possibly talk about it as well.
No, it's because it's got the link to John Cena and wrestling.
But yeah, like I say, please let us know in the comments what your your theories for the rest of the year on WWE are. Let us know the reasons why you watch AEW. We might listen. And also try and convince us to watch NXT as well for the reasons that you watch it. We want to hear from you guys. It's not just about us talking.
And we're not always just on about wrestling.
No, there's, even in this one, there'll be a link to our new music radio show below, where you can find 2 hours worth of new tunes submitted from everything from record labels and PRs to bands themselves. Mm-hmm. It's always free, so it's something that you can just find us on Mixcloud, listen to it there, and you'll never get a playlist on Spotify, algorithm driven, that will emulate our radio show that comes out of this man's brain.
Except for our playlist of all the tunes that we played.
Apart from our playlist, but that's not algorithm driven.
No, it's not. It's
But it's still underneath our name, so I think we're allowed that playlist. And just so you know, we do have a feature of the week, just the track of the week that we play playlist as well. We have the Safe Gigs for Women covers playlist, where heavy bands cover non-heavy songs. And now we've even had interest from a headliner at 2000 Trees in our positive mental health playlist, where he was so interested in the stuff that's on there, took the card and everything so he could actually go off and have a look. So do make sure that if you're feeling a little bit low, either listen to the show, watch another podcast, or listen to our PMA playlist, because we do it to help ourselves not feel low, and we hope that we can pass that on to other people as well. I think that's a nice point to wrap up.
Indeed.
Alrighty, so next week we go back to another normal podcast, probably covering a bit of trees, and we're going to dig some stuff out the vault as well. So next week there's going to be a little bit more what you're used to until we get to our next festival.
Which is Bloodstock.
Bloodstock. Till next time. Cool. You on the